Good morning student, welcome back. As our CPT1 is going to start, so today I will take your revision class. Revision of chapter 1 to 3 we will do. Now let's start with chapter 1. Our chapter 1 is Introduction to Biology. Student, we all know biology is the study of life. It is composed of two words, bios and logy. The meaning of biology, bios means life and logy is to study. So, the study of life is the biology. Biology involves two types of individuals, two category on the basis of types of individuals. Zoology and botany. Zoology is the study of animals, while botany is the study of plants. In our book, different name of scientists is given. There are several name of scientists is given on the basis of discoveries that they have discovered and that you all have to study. Next topic, branches of biology is given. That branches is given on the basis of approach on study, and second branch is given on the basis of organism. For example, in approach on studying, for example, paleontology. Paleontology is the study of fossil, and on the basis of organism, for example, botany. Botany is the study of plant, while zoology is the study of animals. And the next is the bacteriology, means study of bacteria. In this way, there are several branches given that you all have to learn for the preparation. On the last topic of our chapter is why we study biology. There are some terms given in your book and that you all have to learn. For example, the main term is for maintaining our health. Biology helps us to gain knowledge how we maintain our health. And next, it also helps in giving knowledge to growing productive products. Biology helps in giving knowledge for growing improved varieties of food, and also it gives several career opportunities, and it also helps us to give knowledge for conserving natural resources. In this way, we have completed this chapter. Now our second chapter, the most important chapter, is our chapter 2 is the cell. Student, we all know that all living beings composed of tiny unit, and that unit is called cell. Means cell is the basic unit of our structure and function, basic unit of life. Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the scientist who discovered cell in rainwater, and he named it as animalculus. And after Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke was the scientist, English scientist, who gave the term cell while he observed the slices of cork in his own made microscope. He found the honeycomb-like structure and he named it as cell. In this way, discovery of cell is given by these two scientists, and after that Theodore and Skeldon gave cell theory. Cell theory proposed 3 points, and the first point is that all the living beings are composed of cell, and the second point is that basic unit of structure and function is the cell, and third and most important characteristic of cell is that each new cell exists from its pre-existing cell. In this way, they gave cell theory, and this is very important theory that you all have to learn. Now, after this, the cell size, the smallest known cell is mycoplasm, and you all know very well that the smallest known cell is mycoplasm, and largest known cell is the ostrich egg cell. And in human body, sperm is the smallest cell, and ova, that is egg, is the largest cell, and nerve cell is the longest cell. There are different shape of the cell is also in this world. It may be spherical, it may be oval, cylindrical. There are various shape of the cell is there, and the organisms which are made up of single cell, they are called unicellular, while the organisms made of many of the cells, multi number of the cells, they are called multicellular organisms. This is all about the discovery of the cell. Now the next topic of our chapter is the cell structure. We all know that there are two categories of biology, plant and animals, and so that on that basis there are two types of cells also there, plant cell and animal cell. First outer layer in plant cell is the cell wall. Cell wall is the non-living structure and it is made up of cellulose. It is freely permeable and it means it allows all the materials to enter in the cell. Its main function is to give rigidity, that is stiffness to the cell, and shape and protection to the cell. The next layer, and it is only present in plant cell. The next layer is the cell membrane. Cell membrane is living and it is present in both plant and animal cell, and it is selective permeable, means it allows only the beneficial material to enter into the cell. Now after these two layers there are several organelles present. Organelles means the organs of the cell which works for the cell, and these are first organelle and most important organelle is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell because it releases energy for the cell. Now next is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum present near the nucleus, and there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic and smooth endoplasmic. They are rough because of the presence of ribosomes on it, so that their structure becomes rough, and their main function is to provide framework to the cell, and as they are present near the nucleus, so that they are also responsible for transferring the material. Next organelle is the Golgi apparatus. It is known as dictyosome in plant cell, and it is a secretory organelle, means it secretes hormones and enzymes for the growth and development of the cell, so that it is called secretory organelle. Next organelle is the ribosome. Ribosome is the smallest organelle of the cell, and it is scattered in the cytoplasm or it is present on the endoplasmic reticulum, and its main function is to produce protein for the cell, and so that it is called protein factory of the cell. Next organelle is the lysosome. Lysosome is called as suicidal bags of the cell because it has hydrolytic enzyme in it, and this enzyme engulf or digest the foreign bodies of the cell, so that it is called suicidal bags of the cell. All these organelles are present in both plant and animal cell. Now the next organelle is the centrosome. Centrosome is present only in animal cell, and its main function is to initiate cell division, and only in animal cell. But which organelle is responsible for initiating cell division in plant cell? It is dictyosome. Next organelle is the plastids. Plastids are present only in plant cell, and there are three types of plastids. First is the first is the leucoplast. Its function is to store the food materials. And second plastid is the chromoplast, means it has function to give beautiful color to the flower and fruits to the plant. And the third organelle is the chloroplast, because it is green in color because it has green colored pigment in it and called chlorophyll, and it is very essential pigment for the process of photosynthesis. This is all about the plastids. Now the next is the nucleus, very important organelle of the cell. Nucleus, it is centrally located in animal cell, while it is acentrically located in plant cell. Because of the presence of large vacuole, it is acentric in plant cell. Its structure is It is oval in shape, and nucleoplasm is present in it. It is a cytoplasm as it is present in nucleus, so that it is called nucleoplasm. A thread-like network is also present in it, and that thread-like network is called chromatin fiber. And a round structure is present here, and this round structure is called nucleolus. Nucleolus. Its main function, it has ribosome in it, and its main function is to produce protein for the nucleus. Protein is a very essential nutrient for the cell division, and for this nucleolus is also very important because it produces protein for the process of cell division in nucleus. And this layer is called nuclear membrane. The outer layer, the cover of the nucleus is called nuclear and this nuclear membrane is cut at several intervals because of the transferring materials, and these cuts are called nuclear pore. The function of nucleus is to control all the metabolic activities of the cell. Means it is the controlling center of the cell, and all the organelles are works for this nucleus. And second important function is it transfer the genetic characters from one generation to other generation, because these chromatin fibers has DNA in it, and we all know that DNA is the genetic code, so that characters transfer from the parents to their offspring from by this chromatin fibers, so that nucleus is responsible for these two works, that is metabolic activities of the cell, and second is the transferring of the characters from one generation to the other. This is all about the cell organelles. Now the last organelle is the vacuole. Vacuole is very large in plant cell, and it is very small or may not be present in animal cell. Suppose this is a plant cell, and because of presence of its large size in plant cell, the nucleus is acentric. Means it is not centrally located in a plant cell. Suppose this is a plant cell. It is double layered structure. We all know the outer layer is cell wall and inner layer is cell membrane. So this is the vacuole, and because of presence of this large vacuole, it becomes acentric. This is nucleus. Nucleus becomes acentric in plant cell. And the outer layer, this is the vacuole. The outer layer of vacuole is called tonoplast. As it is empty, so that its function is to store the materials, all the organic and inorganic materials, and water and food. So that means its function is to store the material in it, and it also provides turgidity to the plants. This is all about the vacuole, and in this way we have completed the cell organelles of the cell. Now the next topic of our chapter 2 is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. What is the meaning of prokaryotic? Prokaryotic means the karyons means nucleus. Pro means primitive. If an individual having primitive nucleus, means not well organized nucleus, means a nucleus not having membrane in it, that type of cell is called prokaryotic cell. and the organisms are called prokaryotes. Suppose bacteria, amoeba. These organisms are not having well organized nucleus, so that they are called prokaryotic organisms. And next is the eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means an organism is having well organized nucleus in it. A well organized nucleus means a nucleus having proper nuclear membrane in it, so that it has well defined size and shape, so that they are called eukaryotic cells. And the organisms having eukaryotic cells, that as we are and plant, they are known as eukaryotes. These are prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now there are several difference also comes between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, that you all have to study, and it is given in your book, and I also given you in the slides. Now next topic is the difference between plant and animal cell. We all know that there are several differences found in plant and animal cell, as plant cells are larger in size while animal cells are smaller in size. Second difference is cell wall is absent in animal cell while cell wall is present in plant cell. Next difference is nucleus is acentric in plant cell and it is centric in animal cell. In this way, there are several differences given in your book, and that you all have to study. So we have completed the second chapter.